twice. This is the last time.
Oh, that's not a knife. That's a knife.
That's not a knife, Murka. This is a knife.
So, dude, get this. I'm trying to remember the whole escalation. Right? It's late at night. By working at the office standards, call it like 11 p.m. and I'm going away, and I don't want to be there. I have something due. I'm working at 11, not home yet. It's not a good vibe for me. And for whatever reason, like one of my coworkers starts like annoying me. He's putting fingerprints on my monitor, and I'm like, dude, stop. Like you're putting fingerprints on it. And
middle finger in the IT world. How you like that?
so like I'm typing and he'll like move my mouse and click and something fuck it up, and it's like a child fucking with me, and he won't. Like I more than once I verbally asked him to stop, and then he escalates again, and he makes his finger wet and then puts fingerprints on my monitor, and
dear.
While you're sitting there?
Yeah, while I'm actively working, he's putting fingerprints like in the section of the monitor that I'm like. You can see where I'm typing.
What an insane power play from this guy.
Those are fighting.
I'm glad you said that because that was my response.
Was this or your Indian coworker?
No, it was an American guy. His name was Mike, and we were actually like friends. Like we went to lunch a lot, but. In this instance, I have another I got bullied story. Which happened like this weekend. In this instance, it was like, you know what? Like the friendship is suspended right now. You are picking on me. So right from my office chair, I hit a double leg. And then with my back against the filing cabinet, I managed to take his back, sink in the rear naked choke, and he tapped and went home for the night.
A little bit gay.
And he never touched Woody's.
He never did. No,
again.
Never touched.
Not while you were there. His nutsack was all over your keyboard and everything. And he just opened up your world to a whole world of subversive bullying and pranks.
No way, Mike pulled hours that I wasn't there.
Jizz on that keyboard,
dude. So here, I have an "Am I the Asshole" story. Right, I need some help with this, and I will preface it by saying. I might be the asshole because this has happened to me twice now, right?
I'll let you know.
Or you tell us the story on whether you're the asshole or not.
What's that? I didn't hear his words.
Can we take bets on whether we think you're going
go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna bet anything that Woody's the asshole because going into something, if you're already prefacing it that you might be the asshole, you're probably the asshole.
Then you might be the asshole.
And it's something indicative if you're asking a question if you're an asshole that you kind of know you're an asshole.
I'm gonna say that Woody is an asshole, but only in he's being a retaliatory asshole. Like someone else was an asshole first, and because of that, Woody became an asshole. So I vote double assholes.
PJ,
you guys are both bullies. Let me just say that right now. I think Woody's a very kind guy in most situations, but in this one, I think he might end up being the a-hole, bro.
All right. So you'll tell me when the story's done, and I will do my best to tell it without bias. So I messed up the wrong camera. Anyway, back on topic. We're in the airplane, and I have the middle seat. I'm not sitting next to Hope. She's behind me. And this guy comes in. I don't know where. He's like Colombian or something. He's got some string, like 1 centimeter thick braided headband on and long, floppy, like Quibblecop hair. And
oh, you're the good guy then in this one.
Classic Colombians.
Colombian.
Yeah, he's like Colombian or something.
Best friend is Colombian.
Anyway, I'm in the middle seat, and I have my arms on the armrests, but only like the back fifth of it. Like I'm intentionally not taking all the armrest. And he comes down and he pulls this like power play move where he like leans his shoulder into me, bumps my whole arm off, and puts his arm on the armrest. He has taken the spot that I previously had.
I want a quick fact and honesty check. You said you were taking up 1/5 of the armrests. I don't see how that's possible unless you were sitting like this.
That is exactly how I was sitting, and I left like 80%. The front in front of me.
80% checks out. All right, continue.
yeah. So So anyway, and I'm only like my arm is in. I might have a book or something, but I'm just barely touching the back of it, and he pushes my arm off the armrest, but not with just his elbow. It's a whole shoulder kind of like, that he leans over to me, takes like 10% of my chair temporarily, and then goes back. And now suddenly, as the tide sweeps into the ocean, he's got the armrest. He has full possession of it. And I'm like...
he came in, took a little bit of Poland, and at the end of the war left and acted like you wouldn't know. You didn't go back to where he started.
Right.
And so in retaliation, what did you do? Did you beat his ear?
I'll tell you where we're headed with this.
Fingers in the nose.
I am at first shocked by this move. And I'm burning in my head, does he know what he just did? Is this an intentional move from
a trained
start?
move.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
I respect that.
so anyway, he leans forward. He wants to put his bag under the seat in front of him or something like that.
No.
So he's given up possession of the armrest again.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I reclaim it while he's gone, right? And now again, just back 20%, and I'm there. But this time I'm fucking locked, right? I'm like, it is gonna take 2 to 3. Yeah. It's gonna take 200 pounds of pressure to move my elbow 1 goddamn inch because I have this thing. I am nobody's fucking victim, and certainly not this Colombian douchebag. So
you're not even relaxing on the armrests.
Oh.
These are just spite.
Yeah.
He's like Samson trying to push the temple down.
Just fucking. I'm locked in and whatever. So he comes back and he tries his move again. But this time his move fails, right? It's not going anywhere. And it's more than one. It's he's up against a fucking marble column at this point. There's no moving this elbow. And then he starts talking to me about it. He's like, "Hey, can you move your elbow?"
Wait, how did he sound?
You want me to do a Colombian? It was like, hey, did you want to move your elbow? And
Perfect.
Wait, hey, you got me moving this elbow. I have a bagel shop to get home to.
I don't know what I got going on. He was like Bane. So anyway, he asked me to move my elbow, and I'm like, I'm only taking the very back of the armrest. You can have all the front. I'm trying to share it, but that's where we are. And he goes, hey, I'll tell you what. Why don't you take the front, and I'll take the back? And I said, because I was here first. And he goes, what is this, high school? Because you here first, that's your rules, right? And he's trying to make me feel like a dick, but I don't know what his rule is at all. I'm taking it because I'm there first, admittedly, perhaps immature for someone as old as me, but,
how old is this gentleman?
I'm going to call him 35.
Still an adult, okay.
Yeah, so, anyway, his reasoning, I guess, is just, I deserve the shit you have. Right? My reasoning, I'll admit, not the soundest, most mature, I was here first, but what's his? I mean, why does
socialist?
He wants to redistribute that armrest.
Right.
And guess what? He gets the back part.
And truth, front, back, I didn't really care. What I did care about is this fuck's opening move was pushing me off the armrest altogether. That is not allowed.
What did they call it when Russia went into Ukraine and just kind of took it? What do they call
annexation.
And he was going to annex your fucking armrest.
Yeah, not on my watch, bitch. So,
you're not wearing your WoodysGamertag.
Damn straight I am. So anyway, he's like, what is this, high school? And I'm like, but why would the armrest be yours? I'm giving you the front. I'm on the back. What do you want? He wants to split the armrest down the middle, right? But I think what he really wants is just where my arm was. And I'm
Nobody wants the front half of an armrest.
Dude, the armrest is an inch thick. Right? I don't understand how you can even share it.
You should just and put your arm around him. just put your arm around him like he's a date. This is much better. Come here. They pulled him pretty close.
So anyway, he says that we should both split the armrest along the side. Oh, this is a good part. So he says, this is not my same flight. This is not my first flight. That's what he tells me. And I told him, I'm a pilot, which isn't true. Right? But
whoa, this took a turn. Okay.
It's gonna be true soon though with your little weird chair.
It'll barely be true. I'll be some sort of lawn chair aviator. But
I'm a pilot. Well, you're sitting in the wrong chair, sir.
Right? But I wanted to somehow I wanted to take back this isn't his high. And in my head there was this whirlwind of dude, if you're bragging about how many times you've flown, probably less than me. When you get to the stage where you'd rather not fucking fly at all, you're on my level. You know, when he's like, I've flown before. Well, that's quite the accomplishment, you fucking Colombian drug dealing douchebag dickwad. Like, I'm not impressed with the fact that he had flown before and thought that he perhaps knew the rules of armrest etiquette better than I did. So, with that, somehow he got into. He's like, you know what? You can have the armrest all flight long. You can have the entire armrest, and I won't touch it at all. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be because at this point I no longer feel bullied. And I said, I'm not trying to be a jerk here. Like, I'm happy to share the armrest.
What was the tone of you saying this? Were you like, hey, this isn't over. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
No, it wasn't like that. As soon as he said,
trying to walk away, and Woody was dragging him down.
Nah.
Give me those nuts. Get the fuck over here.
When he said, take the whole armrest the whole time. I don't care. I was like, well, I'm not trying. I said, I'm not trying to be the bad guy. I'm not trying to be the bad guy here. You pushed me off the armrest. You tried to like force it from me, and that wasn't happening. And
now I don't like it because he gave you the armrest, but you kept the conversation going. You should. Now it's like a 17th century cotillion where it's like, oh, you have it. Oh, I shan't. Like,
pretty much. So we somehow agreed to like share the armrest, and in reality, I was like, I think I took like way back, so maybe I lowered it to like 5% or 10% of the the back inch. My arm still existed there, but he was able to have what you might consider the back too.
Still a statistically significant portion of the arm.
And then throughout most of the flight, it seemed like he stopped caring about the armrest. He didn't really use it, and he was in the aisle. Like, I couldn't go anywhere else. I was in the middle seat.
Middle seat gets both. And
some people, I've heard that argument before.
One. That's how it works.
Yeah, middle seat, because the middle seat has nothing else going for it.
Exactly. Everybody else has a little something extra. In the aisle, you can get out there on the window. You can lay your head down. On my last flight, I had the window, and I was being real careful to stay off this lady's armrest, and she was like, "You can have the armrest," and I was like, "Really? Thank you." I really mean, I was like, that's nice of you because it's yours if you want it. She's like, oh no, and like I would try to like move out of her way. She's like, take it, get in there.
All right, so you've heard the whole story, and I've tried to tell it as unbiased as I. Am I the asshole in this thing? Because it worries me a little bit that I've been in this situation twice. I am the asshole. I didn't see that coming.
No, it was no, of course not. Yeah, you're totally in the clear on this. I think you knew you were in the clear, surely, because the guy's like shoving you around, and all you really did was like hold your ground the next time it came around, and. He was when he's like, "What is this, high school?" You should have been like, "Yeah, you want a swirly, you fucker?" Like, I'll take
dude. That lines like that ran in my head afterwards. Did you get your ass kicked a lot in high school? Because then, yes, this is like high school.
You're like pulling a George Costanza. You're like, "Yeah, well, I slept with your wife, pilot, doctor."
Well, I just got off the phone with the jerk store, and they're a lot of you.
But yeah, no, I actually was, because the fact that this has happened to me twice now makes me feel like, am I doing something here? What?
Just it's always Frank's alter ego is Mantis Toboggan, and he claimed to be a doctor and a pilot on the flight.
I think that you are. I was going into it thinking you were going to be way more of the asshole in it, but you get a huge amount of leeway for being in that middle seat in coach, because I
ain't no Casey Neistat.
The aisle more than the middle, but I know most people like the aisle and the window more than the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But, they're definitely superior.
Need some perk to the middle, and so it's understandable that you would take both armrests.
Yeah, the middle gets nothing. Like, for one thing, like, you're squished between two people, right? Like,
lean anywhere either.
You can't lean. You've got to stay straight up and down. You can't even really stretch.
You have to do that bullshit where, like, how your Delta chair, you can hit that button and it goes back 8/16 or half shorter. Like, and then you have to like basically lean back, hope that one of the people next to you hasn't leaned back, so there's a small little jut out where theirs is. You haven't back yet, and you just kind of. Like a more precarious sleeping surface than when Frodo and Sam are climbing up Minas Morgul there, trying not to fall, and you're always just, oh fuck, okay. And then God forbid the person next to you lean back.
Dude, United has new seats, so I don't know. Both of the flights that we had, the seats were only like 3 inches thick, and it's made a huge impact on the leg room. Like, I don't like United. This is not an endorsement. But I'm used to plane seats being like a good 8 to 11 inches thick almost, right? Like, they're big padded things. These were narrow little race car seats or something.
This doesn't sound like a good thing to me. I'm
It
sorry.
was,
Dirt
I
seat.
strongly approved of it. Yeah, I didn't feel like I was missing padding at all, and I definitely